Hallelujah. Thank you, Callie. Thank you all for being here today. There's this paradox, dichotomy about release. And it's that, yes, it's really makes great sense to release what no longer serves us. But there's also a pain in that, right? There's a pain in it when it is not our choice, or it is just the march of time. It is time to release childhood. It is time to release middle age. Right? It is time to release relationships, whether they're personal, familiar, or romantic. Sometimes relationships run their course, and it doesn't mean they're a failure. It means they've worked out what they've come here to teach us. But sometimes in that, we hold on to resentments, to expectations. I had a meme come across my social media that says, expectations are just premeditated resentments. Right? Yep. Been there, done that. Right? And we expect things of people in our lives or people we're in relationship with, and when we set them up to do something that is not in their nature to do, then we get to be disappointed for them and at them. And if they knew how mad we were at them, they'd change, right? No. Everyone, each and every one of us, is doing the absolute best we can at any moment, right? Each and every one of us on the planet is doing the best we can at this particular moment, given everything that has happened in our lives, given all the things we've gone through, all the things we've lived through, all the things we've overcome, and all the things we've taken on and made our own responsibility. And we're such a unique, fabulous, messed up human being. And every one of us are like that. The part of this spiritual practice is unpacking that. And notice what you've taken on that's not yours. Taken on to believe that it's your responsibility or that it's some fatal flaw in your nature or your being. When in fact, it just may be something that well-meaning adults taught us or modeled for us, and we decided that that's how we were. And we made it an indelible mark, a personality trait that's irrevocable in ourselves and for others. We say, oh, that's just the way they are. I've done it with my children, and I love them. And I've done it to them. And sometimes that's the most painful moment to realize, is that we are passing on the sins of our ancestors to our children because we're not awake. We're not awake to what we need to release. Our premeditated expectations and resentments. And we do it with partners. I've been writing, editing my book over the holiday. And I recently completed a section on my lover who passed away 26 years ago. And God, the things I would have done differently if I could go back and do it differently. He passed away of a drug overdose at 44 years old. Right? Look at it now when we thought we were old. Look at it now and go, well, what errors of belief, right? My belief system was so off. I called it my BS, my belief system. Right? Because that is something that guilt, that shame, that regret, that grief is something I want to release and something I want to learn from. So here's the dichotomy, here's the paradox. In processing it in the writing and the examination, I can be grateful for him and for the lessons, and the lessons even of his death. Because of his choices, I chose something different. Because I had to call his parents and tell them that their baby son had died, and hold them as we went in to say goodbye to his body. Because I had to arrange the funeral and the memorial service and be surrounded, and got to be surrounded by all the people who loved him and honored him and respected his work, that I got to experience the afterglow and the wash of all of that love and affection. And because of his choice, his addiction, I got to choose a different path forward in this life. And my next chapters have been mind-bogglingly abundant and blessing. So all of it I can look at and be grateful for. And all of it I can see things that I need to release. And that's where we get to be in this discernment today. I don't want us to spiritually bypass. Does anybody know the term spiritually bypassing? The easiest way I can describe it is spiritually bypassing is pretending to be more spiritually evolved than you really are. It's like, oh, I've forgiven everyone for everything. Really? Tell me how you do that, because I've been working at this for years. I have a degree in ministry, and I still am working on forgiveness and release on a daily basis. Finding where the lesson is, where my part of it is, where I need to learn and grow. As I mentioned earlier, we are lifelong learners. We are here on this planet to evolve our own human spirit, our own human potential, because we are spiritual beings incarnated right here and right now on this human adventure. So one of the opportunities is to embrace all of your feelings, to use this opportunity as we go into this meditation to let the feelings come up. The unprocessed, the smushed, the bypassed, the forgotten resentments when they bubble back up and you meet someone who reminds you of your ex and you don't know why you're reacting to this person this way. Those are our spiritual lessons. And when we can allow ourselves to fully feel and then fully release in the flame, we get to peel another layer of our spiritual onion. So, you guys willing to be a little vulnerable? Willing to be a little real today? Willing to be a little different than we've been before? Each and every one of us is here, not by accident, but by divine appointment. There is something you've come here to be, and some aspect of you is not letting you fully live into that. Even if it's just 1%. That 1% is where all your struggle and pain is. So let's release it. Let's find it, explore it, love it, and let it go. I never understood that line. If you really love something, you'd let it go. No, you hunt it down and kill it. That's what I was taught anyway. And now I have to release that lesson. If you really, really love something, you can let it go because you have it in your heart. So I'm going to invite you to take out your little piece of white paper and everybody should have a pen It's in the seats in front of you. If you don't have your little sheet of paper, I invite you, I'm walking off camera here, Bruno, but I'm coming back, I promise. Our ushers can bring you one. Anyone not have, one person over there doesn't have a white piece of paper? It should be in your bulletin. And you saw the kids do their magic with it. So to set expectations for this too, what's going to happen is we're going to do a meditation here. I don't want you to write yet, okay? You see this paper is really small. Don't write yet. Let it reveal to you the meditation reveal to you what you need to release. And trust me, if you're worried you're going to forget it, then it wasn't the thing you're supposed to release today. Right? Because you've already forgotten it. So we're going to, you can keep playing. Art, thank you. We're going to do this meditation and let Spirit speak through you about what goes on this paper. One of the things I've noticed too is people like to write tomes. And Spirit knows, God knows all the details. You know all the details. So sometimes one word, a phrase, is more than enough to capture what it is you're releasing. As long as you feel it in the writing, the feeling is what transports you. The next thing is, when this is all done, I'm going to invite you to come up. And I'm going to invite you to come up one at a time, and you will take your paper. Our beautiful singers are going to be singing, standing here singing for us as we do this. It's a walking meditation. So I invite you to stay silent, because while you may be finished, other people will not. And we stay in the silence, other than the singers, singing and burning and releasing. I will hold the space here at the burning bowl with you and for you. As you leave the burning bowl, on each side, Elizabeth and Tyler will be holding a basket that is filled with these beautiful cards. And this is what you're going to pick up after you release what is no longer yours. Just take one from the basket after you're done and go sit in your chair, and I'll explain what we're going to do with these after. Okay? All right. And if you get lost, just follow everybody. Okay. So let the chair hold you. Can you feel your buttocks in the chair? Can you feel your back against the chair? Can you notice where you have been holding on too tightly? And just breathe into that space. To let this moment just be. And as we breathe, we bring to mind something, someone, some situation, some event that won't leave us and causes us pain, sorrow, anger, grief, resentment. Feel into that situation. Feel it all. Don't judge. Allow yourself to be any emotion that arises, and all of them, for they do not limit, but multiply. Feel the compassion and the anger all at once. And see how it morphs into another person or another situation. Notice that all of them are about the past or a projection to the future. But they're not actually here with us, except in our mind. And then ask for anything else that needs to come up. And anything else that needs to come up. And anyone who comes up again. And as you go through this process, when you're ready, I invite you to feel all your feelings all the way through to completion. And ask, what is mine to release? And one of my favorite moments to do is as I do this too, and say to Spirit and anything else. And so it is.